What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Level with You show. My name is Wiley Olmsted, and joining me this week, as always, cooking with Kenny Star, Kenny Castro.
What's up? What's
It's
up, guys?
swinging a knife around.
He's chefing it up in the kitchen. He's working on those plantains, about to fry them up and throw some salami and stuff in there. I don't know. Sounds delicious. Also joined by the Banana Man with a plan, Anthony Duart.
I must ask you a question.
He's like, I got the real vegetable here. This is just a plain old banana. Get out of here with that fancy plantain stuff.
That's bullshit, you know? They're both great, though.
Dying.
Oh, this smells weird. Ugh, that smells.
And the phantom producer himself, Tyler Hadley.
Hey, everybody. We're streaming from 3 different places this time.
There's
3
4
different
different
places.
households.
You can catch us live every Tuesday evening on Facebook, on Twitch, and on YouTube, whichever your preference for your eyeballs.
Yeah,
We
it's a
got
new
you
thing.
covered.
New thing for us
Yep.
this time.
No,
New
that's
thing.
brand new.
If you want to catch us a day later, you can do so on all types of podcast services. You don't get to look at our pretty faces, but whatever. We're pretty much just
And
sitting
hear our
down.
pretty
so-
voices.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we got a lot to talk about this week as far as the games we've been playing. We do want to shout out that this is episode 52, and we've been doing this for a year now.
1 year. One.
Is it our
whole
anniversary?
year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So no,
That's insane.
it is insane. Yeah, like we're not the biggest podcast on the block by any means, but had a lot of
It's a-
good times.
It's a milestone for me. I haven't even been in a committed relationship for a year. This is the biggest committed relationship I've been in, so you're welcome.
That is a big, that's
It's
something
a big
to
step.
commend. So good job for sticking with it, Anthony. You've definitely been a huge part of the stuff that we've put out. So thank you for all the art you've made, all the little extra content that you've put out on the side on the channel, and bringing the lighter side to each show. So
Yeah.
Oh, no problem.
If anybody's
Don't
out
worry.
there listening, you want to chime in, hang out in the chat, give us some
Pat.
questions. We got Cody Daigle from YouTube hanging out with us.
Ooh, my boy.
Map Cody,
Yeah.
feel free to drop us a line and we'll answer your questions if you want, or if you just have a comment or whatever. We're trying to engage with the community.
Grim
Yep.
Rocker says, "Don't yell at me, Dad."
Don't yell at me. Yeah, he's already there. I was just typing you a message. You're already in the chat. You already know. That's
So we
good.
usually start off the show these days with a brief sanity check, make sure everybody's doing okay, being isolated in their homes and not doing any fun things like going to the club or the restaurant, or I don't know, something
Actually,
more
my
important than
birthday.
that.
That's pretty fun.
So who wants to start it off? Tyler, you said that things been feeling slow this week for you. You're been kind of blah.
Yeah, a little bit. Today hasn't been too bad. I actually got out of the house for a few hours today, taking some pictures of some properties we manage. That was nice.
Nice.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, I actually saw a couple of coworkers at the property, so nice to see some humans face to face. rather
Not
than
screen
on
to
the
screen.
computer. Yeah.
Yep.
That was good. Been kind of taking it easy, trying to get out and exercise when I have the chance. Been
Doing more than I am.
pretty rainy on some days, so I haven't been able to
Yeah.
do as much outside as I want.
So I made the mistake, you mentioned exercise, of reinstalling the Steps app on my phone, which is just, getting your steps in, yada, yada, big trendy thing these days. But when I last had it installed, I was working at Wildwood Barbecue, and I was getting in at least 8,000 steps, like between 8 and 20,000 a day. And now I'm lucky if I get 3.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. So I've
Yeah.
also been struggling with staying active. So funny, like I started the year off on a diet like so many people do, and was doing really well, committing to it, and that all got shot to shit.
Yeah, well, one of the coworkers I ran into today, she's like, "I swear I've gained 10 pounds over this quarantine time being off," and I'm like, "You and me both, sister."
You
Totally.
got it, babe.
Yeah, I think that's probably around accurate. I mean, I like started the year off with losing 8 pounds, and that took so much effort, like way more than I thought it was going to. And at least I did that, or else I'd be bigger than I'd ever been. But whatever. What about you, Anthony?
Our time will
How
come
about-
again.
Yeah.
I shaved my balls today. That's pretty good. I haven't touched those in a while. So
That's a responsible thing to do.
yeah, I'm not even going on a date or seeing anybody. I went and I did it a little differently this time, but I put the trash can in the shower so I didn't make a huge mess of the tub. So it was a commitment, and it was
you
going at it for
kidding
so
me?
long. I started getting a little bit of a yeah. I mean, well, I don't want to. I got a roommate, so I want to be cleanly. I don't wanna
Yeah.
Did you keep the bag in there? I'm trying to take. I'm taking pointers right now. Do you
Yeah.
keep the bag in the trash can?
Oh, of course, yeah. Because I mean, well, the
Okay.
trash can we have in the bathroom is all got a bunch of holes in it. So I put a little bit of, I put like a Target
Oh.
plastic bag over that, and I put that in the tub. No water though. Don't put water in the tub.
Yeah, it must
Oh,
have
okay.
it must have been all the Manscaped ads that everyone's seeing out there.
The funny enough, when I was taking a shower after that, I kept getting Manscaped ads on my phone. I was like, oh great, okay.
How did they know?
How did they know that I was just shaving my balls?
May I ask what tool do you use?
I have a shaver. It's an
Really
electric
going into
shaver
this.
I got from Christmas from my dad. Not a couple. Oh yeah, like I don't know how long ago has it been. I don't know, but either way, I asked my dad one year for Christmas. He's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I want a ball razor, please." He's
I
like,
want to manscape that.
I want to raise like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know, I want something to clean up the downstairs. He's just like, why? He's like, what do you want? What do you mean? Why would I
A
need?
man, a real man doesn't do that. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
apparently, I mean, I don't even have enough hair on my back yet. I clearly don't even know.
Quite the conversation we got here.
There's the father-son bonding. I'll tell you, there's that. The kidney stones over the years. I got stories for a while.
This is the Level With You show, weekly video game podcast where we all get together and talk about our balls.
Yeah, and then Anthony bitches about his dad.
Hey, your dad's great. He just had a birthday,
He's-
didn't he?
He did just have a birthday. It was last week. It was the 19th. So it was good. Went over, had some cake. What did we do? He ended up
birthday.
cooking. I tried to cook for him. He wouldn't let me cook. We had burgers and hot dogs, a classic American birthday meal,
Nice.
and then some cake. It was good. That was it. It was good.
I've been craving a burger. It's been a
Same.
while.
Does he remember me?
Yeah, I was like, Tyler says
No.
happy birthday. He goes, oh, okay. Tell him I said thank you. He's just like that with everybody though. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
He was like, which one's that one? Just say I said thank you.
Just okay. Just say thanks.
Does he shave his balls too? Oh no.
No, it is. I don't just shave his balls. I haven't asked him in a while. I mean, I haven't shaved mine in a while.
And what about you, Kenny? You're the only one with two rascals running around all day. So how's things over at the Castro Dome?
Man, we're trying to keep staying over here, man. You know, not doing too much. They have a hiking crew over here. I know they hear me from the living room because the kitchen isn't too far from it. They think
Yes.
they think they're going to convince me to go hiking on Sunday, right?
Do it.
But this not happening. You know, I'm bringing the dog with me so that when the dog gives up like 15 minutes in, me and him we just head right back to the car together.
You got a good
That's
dog.
Smart strategy.
Well, gotta take the good dog back. He's tired. We forgot his
Yeah.
water back at the car.
Yeah, I gotta go
Yeah.
back.
He's loyal too, so he might see me and give out before he's even tired.
Yeah, we got our
Cool.
boy Golden Age Retriever, Brendan, hopping in as he's jumping in between meetings, coming in to say hi. Hope
Hi,
you're doing
Brendan.
well.
Hey, Brandon, what's up, man?
Nice, that's
Thank-
awesome.
I think we're doing
Thanks
good.
for the chair,
Hope you're
dude.
doing good
Love-
too.
Yeah,
Man,
it's,
you know what? This whole quarantine even has me cooking in between podcast episodes. Like this is unheard of. You know,
It's a wild world.
I like to keep breaking boundaries.
I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of just sitting on my chair, my horrible lighting, just staring at you guys. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm a cook. I'm a cook in between this episode. Fuck it, why not?
Do it. Might as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, so far, your contributions have been the same they always are. So I wouldn't change a thing.
What is that? Is that the salami?
Good old salams.
You had to make it fried. Oh man,
Mhm.
That does.
Oh, I saw
look
it.
legit.
I saw an ad for spam yesterday, and I really want to make spam now. I want to fry up some spam.
Some spam and
You know
mac
what's
and
crazy?
cheese. That's what that did. I think I told you that's what my roommate makes sometimes.
Yeah,
and
that's what
mac.
Diener does.
Spam and mac. Okay, I like some spam and eggs. That used to be like
Yeah.
a Sunday evening tradition in the Olmsted household when I
That
was a
sounds
kid.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
a biscuit
really?
with some
Okay.
spam. Oh my god, that sounds really good. Biscuit with spam and eggs.
That does sound like a cholesterol dream.
Speaking of cholesterol dreams, I was drinking till 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning a couple nights ago, and went to
As
McDonald's
one
for
does.
breakfast, as one does during quarantine. And they have a new breakfast sandwich I wasn't aware of called the McChicken McBiscuit or McChicken Biscuit. I was one of the two, but they have a
Okay.
McChicken McGriddle now and a McChicken Biscuit. And first thing out of my mouth, because I love McGriddles, was chicken McGriddles. So I said, "No, wait, I'm sorry, ma'am." At the drive-through, I want a chicken McBiscuit, and I got it. And let me tell you, that is now my new favorite breakfast item.
Wow.
Like
Is
out
that
of-
from
out of
Wendy's, right?
everything?
No, from Mickey D's. Surprisingly, we don't have a Wendy's near
Mickey
me in
D's?
Ludlow.
Better than Taco Bell.
Actually, no, because I went to Taco Bell first, but they didn't open till 10, so I was really upset. I was like, all right, backup
Dang.
plan.
I saw that advertised, and it looks like it's just a biscuit with chicken in the middle, like
Mhm.
with no bacon or no cheese or nothing.
It's a little dry. It's a little dry. There's nothing really to kind of spice it up in there, so you gotta add a little bit of, if you got a little bit of the Mexican, the shredded cheese at home, put that in there. But
Okay.
the biscuit, they just load that shit with butter and everything. It's just like, and at that point in the night, I was already like, whatever, it's fine.
Fast food
I
hacks.
was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
if I have to add anything at home to any item, not worth it to me.
Oh yeah, that's true, because you're going to get everything at the restaurant there. It's like I could just
I'm
stay home
trying
and
to-
eat some and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One hand on the steering wheel, sandwich on the other.
Oh,
Call it a day.
see, I'm spoiled with that. I like to go home and I like to sit down and like put my phone up, watch my YouTube or whatever, watch my anime when I eat. I don't like eating and driving unless I like gotta be somewhere.
Kenny,
Okay.
wait,
Kenny's
Oh, go
doing all
ahead.
three. He's eating, driving, and
It's-
watching anime.
You're better
Yeah,
man than I am.
Tyler already knows me, man. Now he knows I'm propping the phone up. I'm driving. I'm like,
what you said there, Kenny, reminded me of some kids in the corner.
got what? Yeah, she was trying to get in the shot over here.
I saw the little flanges growing up and I was like, what? Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Kenny,
That's
what you
bad.
said
He was
reminded
too
me of
funny.
the first episode of Dexter. One of the things he says that he really enjoys doing is driving and eating at the same time, like a pulled pork sandwich. I don't know why, that I always thought that was so it.
Yeah, the Cubanos, right? That's what he liked to like eating while he was driving in the first episode, right?
Yeah, which is like such a
Yep.
it's a great little character moment. All right,
Yep.
so we
Like
do
a
have
boy.
some video games that we gotta discuss. That is the main part of the show, most weeks anyway. We're getting a little bit wild and crazy up on this 1 year episode.
Hey, you gotta do it.
Ooh.
We gotta do it. So Anthony and I, we both beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, and
Oh yeah.
we got some things to say about it.
Congratulations.
Yep, thank you. And Tyler, you beat Persona 5 Royal. Had you already beat that last week?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Oh, okay. Well, scratch
just like-
that. That's
you're just
off
like,
the
I'm
docket.
done.
Yeah, taking a week
I
off
wanna-
video games.
We're taking
I
a
want
break.
to mention the Fortnite Travis Scott event, which happened on Thursday. Or actually, it happened several times throughout the week. I did it on Thursday. I dove back into Dragon Quest 11,
Mm-hmm.
and I purchased Far Cry New Dawn. And we don't know how much we'll get into all of them, but let's start with the big game this week. And Kenny, he played a little bit of Gears Tactics, which just came out to PC. So we'll get his early impressions. Final Fantasy VII. What did you think, Anthony?
It was good. It's my biggest thing was by the time I finished it and when I beat the game, I had a feeling it was going to end how it ended. I was like, there's no way they put, it's a 40-hour game that originally is taking place in a part of a, 100-something plus hour RPG where that part that you're in, that the remake took place in, only took like maybe 2 hours. So it definitely left me wanting to play. I felt really greedy. I wanted to play the rest of the game because I know exactly what's going to come after it, but they fleshed out everything so well in Midgar and they made it its own world and kind of fleshed everything out and all the characters and everything from the first part of the game that you wouldn't really have, given a second, thought about. And they did a great job in that aspect, and it was a great remake. excellent, but it left me wanting. I just want to go back and play the original now, because I know it's not going to be another like 10 years till we see the second part.
Yeah, I mean, there are rumors that might be a few years, that it might be, it is being worked on. I think that was confirmed recently. Um, I think I'm a little bit more glowing than you. I know you really liked it. I thought it was really excellent, and then the last few chapters elevated it to a level that I did not expect. In terms of enemy variety and design, they kept up in the ante. Like, there's this one, worm type boss that just comes out of nowhere when you're
Oh, the
in the Shinra
swordfish.
Tower.
Yeah,
like
that
that's so
swordfish one.
cool.
That was it is really sweet. And the best part, or in my opinion, one of the better parts about original Final Fantasy VII is those what I thought was sweet in the remake. A bunch of those enemies, like the bosses and stuff, were just random encounters in the base game. So, because I mean, obviously they're not like as random in this one because you can see the enemies on the map.
Yeah.
But when you were just like running around through the Shinra building or just in like the slums or anything, any random encounter would be like those enemies, like the shock troopers. Those shock troopers who are super hard. They're like, I mean, relatively difficult in the remake. Were just common throwaway enemies in the reactor when you walked in with Barrett in the beginning. Like they were just popping up all over the place. But
They're
it's
so
really
weak
cool.
to fire, though. They're so weak to fire.
Exactly.
But so by the end, I was really invested in the characters. I got to, I think a couple weeks ago, I thought they were a little too cheesy. I think Barrett has a really nice arc. I think that Cloud, it's a little bit inorganic, his transition from, asshole mercenary to selfless hero.
Yeah.
But they make it work as best they can. I love Tifa and Aerith. I mean, just because they're so pretty and the actresses that portrayed them were, really well acted as well, I thought.
Yeah.
I love the just moment to moment gameplay switching between Tifa and Aerith and Cloud, and how one party member will drop out. That sort of changes up the dynamic in a significant way. Did I think that there were some parts that probably were stretched out a little bit too much? Yeah, like the worst part of the game is when you are going through the what do you call it, the subway system, and you're moving around the hands for
Yeah, I hated that chapter. That was so boring.
Yeah, it was very boring, and it was like, why are you making a mini game out of this? This is so not fun. It controls poorly.
Yeah, it's like I get Final Fantasy VII is all about mini games, but it's like I don't care about the hands. I mean, it was kind of cool for me because you always in the original it was just a static background painting, like the pre-rendered background. There was always just that hand, like one of those hands there, and you were like, oh, I think I have to do something with it. You didn't have to do anything with it, but it was cool to see them actually be like, oh, cool. But it was cool for the first puzzle. After that, I didn't want to do anything else with it.
Right, exactly. There was by the third time you did it, there was a materia off in the corner. This is probably the only materia I missed in the game. I was like, I just got to get out of here. I got to get out of here.
I don't blame you. I'd be like, I was so done, and then I ended up leaving the room because I think I had to go to the bathroom or I got a drink. But either way, I left that puzzle on. I didn't pause it or anything. I was like, whatever, it's not going anywhere. Left, came back, and then as I was coming back, apparently the game, if it treats you like a little dumb baby, if you leave and you're like, oh, I can't figure this out, or like the controller's just static for a while, it'll tell you what to do on the side of the screen. It's like, try stacking the crates, and I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. So I was like, well, I would have been stuck.
That's really funny because I'm pretty sure that I actually got stuck on that too. And I was like, yeah, I think it told me to stack the crates too. And I was
because I wouldn't have thought of that. I was like, oh, you can stack the crates? I was like, oh, I didn't know.
So there were a few moments that drag it down like that, but overall the pacing was, I enjoyed it. It's some sort of unorthodox in the way that some chapters are all 100% story and other chapters are very Yakuza-esque, where you're running around helping the different townspeople. It's very black and white about what quests you have done and what you have not done. So, there's not the sense of discovery in something like The Witcher or anything like that. Much more of a linear experience, but I just love the battle system. The story gets better as it goes. It's got a hell of a finale, in my opinion. Like, I know a lot of people were sort of put off by the ending, but
it was wild compared to where that game ends. Because you haven't played the original one, right? Like you don't know what that part was supposed to be.
No. Yeah.
That because they like put it above and beyond for this one. Like that's just you do the motorcycle mini game, like everything kind of in the Schindler Tower happens according to that. You know, you fight Rufus on the roof. Everybody goes down. You get down. You go. Everybody gets in the trucks and you get on the motorcycle and you're like, oh, I'm cool. And you go down. You do the bike mini game, which was stupid in the original. It was really hard. And well, I'm sure it was. That just for me, I did a bad job at it. But then you fight the boss that you fight on the motorcycle.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too spoilery for people.
Yeah,
but
spoiler, but there's a boss you fight on the motorcycle. That's the boss before you just leave Midgar, and you just go from there in the
Mhm.
original. Because I mean, I get it. This is like the big finale for the remake. You have to fight. You fight who, because it's a Final Fantasy VII game, and you can't have a last boss with this guy popping up all over the game and then not fight him at the very end.
yeah.
I had a feeling I was like he's gonna be the last boss, even though he's not like yet. But
But the
I'm
bosses before that were crazy, dude. Like
Yeah.
the giant, like it gets to a spectacle that I didn't expect. Like something, the game feels a little bit more intimate than something like a Final Fantasy X, which, the sin monster being so massive and
yeah.
just I would say that game feels a little bit grander scale than Final Fantasy VII, but it amps it up in these final few hours to that and like
Oh
then
yeah.
some.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it's like uncharted levels of set piece
Mhm.
during a couple moments, and yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's selling like crazy. It sold 3.5 million copies in the first three
Wow.
days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so good for them. Hopefully that they'll put the same patience and energy and talent into part two. And I'm so excited for it because you get that little glimpse of what Beyond Midgar is going to look like, and it's a completely different color palette. And
Yeah,
it's just
it's
like
nuts.
it's exciting.
It's a big switch up, but even in like the base game. But I did like how this isn't really going into spoilers because it's already knowledge out there about the like series out there. Is the guy you saw at the end with the black hair and the Buster Sword, who's carrying Cloud?
Yeah, he was confusing me, but I was like, yeah,
He's
I'll figure.
basically he's like Cloud's role model from when he was in Soldier. His name's Zach.
Oh,
So he's
okay.
you'll get into that later on too, but without spoiling anything. But he's the guy like Cloud looked up to back when he was in Soldier, and he's got a big he's got a big role in it, but you can totally miss it in the original game if you just gloss over one side quest because he's in like a couple cutscenes if you do like some memory thing. His Cloud still has like a huge arc to go with his character, as you can like definitely still see by the end. But it was cool to see him like warming up and then being like, I'm gonna get it for the money. And at the end, he's kind of like making jokes. They're like, oh, you're gonna help us, build the bar when we get back? And he's like, for the right price. And they're like, And
Yeah.
we got a question from Cody in the chat too.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Cody?
He said, how would you pitch Final Fantasy to someone like me who has never played any of them? Can I get into it without getting lost in the sauce or miss crucial lore from previous installments?
You want to take that, or should I?
Sure. With this one, the remake, yeah, you can totally jump in without having any prior knowledge of the first Final Fantasy VII or any Final Fantasies. The cool thing about Final Fantasy as a series is the only thing that kind of is a staple throughout the series is chocobos. They're in like a lot of them, if not all of them.
Bird
Moogles.
horses.
Yep, they're basically the big chicken horses. The spells like fire, Fira, Faraga, like all the 3 steps of spells, and then like recurring character names like Sid. Sid's in like every Final Fantasy. But other than that, everyone has a different story. They're all really different. You won't really. I mean, if you like turn-based RPGs, you'll like Final Fantasy. But if you don't, I can't really recommend it because they're
Yeah,
all.
but with 7 though, with the remake, I think that you could make a justification if you don't typically like turn-based because it's real-time turn-based.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, remake
and
is a total different story with that. Yeah, if you.
Yeah, so I think that for action gamers that have, they enjoy Devil May Cry or Neo or I don't know, Dark Souls,
Yeah.
but they are curious into something that's a little bit more, and maybe not more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not brainy, but like
Big galaxy brain.
strategic.
Yeah.
I think Final Fantasy VII is a nice entry point, and me, I didn't know the story too much. I played the opening hours a few times as a kid, never was able to get into it, and I loved it. And I think this is a good place to start with the series because it's a nice hybrid between turn-based stuff and action. And if you don't mind turn-based stuff, you can pretty much start anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a daunting series because there's so many of them, but most, 99% of people haven't played them all. So
Play 7, 8, 9, 6. 6,
I
7,
love
8, 9.
I love 10. Really love 10.
10 is
But
good too.
it was my first one. It's my first one that I beat, so I'm
Mhm.
biased.
No, that's how I am about Final Fantasy 7. That's like one of the first that I beat, and I've had such nostalgia for it growing up because that was like I played that when I had for my PlayStation originally, but I never had a memory card, so I played those opening hours like so too many times. Maybe that's
Yeah.
also why the remake some parts didn't hit as well with me. I did get really upset that you couldn't play as Red 13. Like they didn't put him in your party at all. He was a guest character, which was cool. He was still there fighting with you, but as soon as you get to that point in the base game in Shinra Tower, Red 13 joins you, and it's really I feel like, I mean, it's definitely asking too much of the developers, and I get that game development's a whole process and all
Couldn't
that.
they have crunched a little more? Damn it.
Yeah, what the fuck? Maybe they'll do like some DLC or whatever. But I mean, he's in your party for a good like the last couple hours of the game. So it was like I did find it a little odd that they didn't put him in.
There is a section in the menus that's DLC.
Ooh, yeah, I did see that, but it was like I have the summoning materia. That's it. That's all I have for DLC.
So you think it just might be little BS DLC like that? Okay.
It might be. I'm not sure. I hope it's more, but I mean,
Mhm.
then again, he'll be in the second part. He'll most likely Red 13 because you get depending on what area this is going to cover for the second part, you're going to get definitely Red 13 since he's already there. You get Yuffie. Actually, Yuffie and Vincent are two characters who are totally optional in the base game. You can miss, but you get them. You get Yuffie after you leave Midgar a little while after. She's optional, and then Sid. I hope you at least get to Sid in the second part because Sid's awesome. Sid's really good in this. In 7, he's like basically a cynical like older dude who worked for Shinra space program but like way out in another town, and his dream was always going to space, so Shinra funded him a bunch of money to like try to get the space program working, which I thought was kind of cool that they mentioned that or hinted at that at the very end. When you're going around the Shinra building, Palmer, the really fat guy, was talking about the space program, and he's
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
but that's been put on hold. We won't we don't care about that anymore because of something you'll find out in later games that happened with Sid, and he's got a really good arc and character story as well. So
Remember
I'm
the
excited to get
Shinra
them.
presentation in the game?
That was awesome.
It was awesome. Like there's
That
so
was
many moments
amazing.
like that that are really stand out that just were not expected to be that high fidelity for me.
Oh, it was insane. Like the little character moments too. Like, did you? I do want to ask you. Did you take the elevator or the stairs going up to the
I
top?
took the elevator, but I wish I took the stairs.
Stairs is hilarious because that's what I
That's what I
chose the
heard.
first time in the original playthrough was the stairs, and it's absolutely nutty. But I thought it was funny how when you take the stairs, they start out by saying, "Oh, it's not a race," and you're just like going up the stairs. And Tifa, at least for me, Tifa was always ahead of me. And your little health bars on the bottom is switches to like a race meter, so it's like first, second, third, and they swap depending on who's higher above you.
That's pretty funny.
They totally should have taken the stairs. Were you about to say something, Tyler?
No, that sounds pretty funny. But Cody does have another question about the combat. He's wondering if it's like South Park handled it in either of their games, or if he means like free movement styles and stuff. But it's not.
It's
like
free
that.
movement.
Well,
yeah,
the
it's not.
but...
Right. The original game is like basically not fractured but whole. The original base game is exactly without the action commands of Stick of Truth. A remake is freeform. You just move around. You can mash square button to attack. You have triangle. Every different character has a different triangle ability, which is like Cloud is operator mode, so it's his stance for it's kind of like more a Dark Souls-esque movement. I don't want to really compare it to that, but
slow and powerful.
Yeah, you fill up your ATB gauge with that faster, and ATB gauge is at any
ATB
point.
gauge is the number one thing that you need to understand is that like
Mhm.
it just a few hits on an enemy with your square attack will make you be able to do an action, and whether that's use a potion or use a spell or use an ability, you need to have that action point. So you have to essentially be going in between real-time fighting, where you're doing your dodges and your slashing and your strategic, MP using attacks. And the abilities just take the ATB points so you can use them as much as you want. It's a really cool give and take between the real time and
managing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the turn-based. It was a really great blend in my opinion. I thought they did a really good job with that. Plus you could get those materia little orbs you can attach to your character's weapon or armor that would like give you ATB boosts. So at the beginning of battle, you would have like an increased meter rather than starting at 0. So you could like either start off the battle by doing some like buff spells. Like I love barrier. Barrier was my go-to. So I'd equip it to like Tifa or Aerith and give them the ATB up. Like Tifa, the concentration or whatever, she'd already has like I think by the end of the game I had like a 50 to 75% chance of her already having a full bar at the beginning of battle. And then
wow.
with the ATP like boost materia on her, I had it like level 2 out of like 3 or 4 stars, whatever the max was. At the beginning of battle, she would have like basically already one and then like a quarter of another one full. So I would throw my support stuff on her. So we'd start the battle. I could just press R2 or L2 to switch to her within a tactical menu. Tell her to like put certain like buffs on certain party members or whatever, and then go fighting from there. It's pretty good.
Cool. So, what else was I gonna say? Can you guys still hear me? I think I just knocked my mic.
There you
I
go.
can hear you.
Okay. We've been talking about Final Fantasy for a while. We do have some other games we want to get into. Were there any other questions in the chat? I don't have it open right now. I'm gonna bring it
Nope.
open though. Okay.
Good boy.
Let's see there. Anybody else want to talk about a game they've been playing? Kenny, you play a little bit of Gears Tactics. Is now a good time, or are you about to drop the plantains or something?
Actually, I've already been dropping the plantains. But yeah, it was real brief. I jumped in just earlier in between a couple Zoom meetings from work. I
Mhm.
started it up on my PC, and I was like afraid at first. I was like, this is the first like real big game that I'm actually playing on my PC.
On your new
Really,
PC.
what I've been, yeah, my new PC. So I was like, all right. So started it, and I'm like, okay. First mission, they kind of walk you through. It's pretty basic, like almost just like any XCOM game. You know, get into cover. Depending on the angle, depending on if they're in cover, depending on what's obstructing your line of sight,
Mhm.
will your hit chance when you shoot. Sorry about.
It's okay.
So yeah, as I was saying. So it was one of those. I'm used to XCOM games, so it's great. But one thing that I do like is the Gears aspect that it introduces. Everybody that plays Gears, Wiley, you beat part 5, right?
I did.
Chainsaw kills, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really blends in the chainsaw kills into as an option for you very nicely. So at any point in time, I'm like, oh, okay, so this guy's this grunt or this drone is in cover. He's not gonna see me coming. I'm gonna beeline my guy straight to him, and he's gonna chainsaw him because he's gonna come around back, or he's gonna flank him and get. So that was kind of good to see because that's an aspect that XCOM doesn't really have. Like, so you got really mixed in pretty well from what I saw in one mission. So I'm very excited. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Gears has such a impressive visual style and fidelity. Like Gears 5 is one of the best looking Xbox One games. Is this a real looker as well?
From so far from the little bit I played, yes. When it goes into its executions, it's almost like looking at Gears 5. So
Nice.
when he gets up onto the enemy and he's gonna go punch him, if the enemy's down, then he's gonna do one of the hand-to-hand executions, and it looks like if I'm watching a Gears multiplayer match, you know.
That's neat.
So
I'm definitely gonna be into it when it comes to Xbox. I don't have a gaming PC, so I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And it's one of those, and it's one of those that I'm from what I'm hearing, it's not too far off the Xbox release. I think it only got delayed because of all the COVID stuff.
I heard an interesting theory on I think it was one of the Giant Bomb podcasts that they are putting it out on PC only first so it can get cred from like XCOM folks because XCOM always comes out first on PC. So I honestly could see that. Like if Halo Tactics were to only launch on PC, then I don't know. It gives it more of like okay, no, it's a real serious tactics game because I can use my mouse and my keyboard.
Right.
That's how the real smart people play games.
That's how all the Koreans play StarCraft. I gotta be like that.
Did you look into the multiplayer at all, Kenny?
No, not at all. Not yet. I was, it sucks because nobody else really has Game Pass. So I would have hoped that, you don't have it. That would have been something I would have hoped that, hey, try try the multiplayer with somebody else.
Mhm.
What is wrong with you over
Yeah,
there,
I'd be down
man?
to hop into it
Yeah.
to see how it goes.
Yeah, same. I was actually looking into downloading Game Pass on my PC right now.
You know, there
Do
you
it,
go.
do it,
Isn't it
man.
just through Xbox?
Yeah, it's the if you because you just download the Xbox app and you'll have the access to it.
Oh shoot, yeah, I have that because that's how I talk to anybody because I'm a lameo and I don't have a working microphone for my Xbox or an adapter on the Xbox One controller to
Oh,
talk to people. It's weird.
So
Oh, well,
go ahead.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, you just need a new controller. All the new controller because you most likely still have the original controller that came with your Xbox One
Yep.
original, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
And
you
then
don't
shell-
have the headphone jack yet.
Kenny, ship them over one. Don't you have like 17 of them?
Yeah, please.
there you go.
My birthday's
Most
coming up.
likely. I'll take a look downstairs, man. I'll take a look.
I'll give you some Wendy's. We can make a trade.
Let's see here. A big kind of fun thing happened in a little game called Fortnite this week, which I just kind of stumbled upon and thought was really fun. Did any of you guys get a chance to watch the Travis Scott concert that happened in Fortnite?
You were talking about it though in the group chat. So how did that go? Is it just like players that sit kind of like and you just
No, they did
stand
it in a
around?
neat way. Like I'm somebody who's like I've heard of this rapper. He's like one of those mumble rappers, but he's like psychedelic, and I don't know. His albums got actually good
Hey.
reviews. But so the way they did it was for like half an hour, no other game types were available. It was just like the concert is starting, you drop on the island, and it's just like a real casual team deathmatch happening, where there's a red team and a blue team. The circle keeps getting smaller. Like I knocked out a few challenges while I was waiting. And it's all the circle is getting smaller and smaller. And then when it gets real small, there's pretty much just the stage. And people like emoting and dancing, and they turn off the ability to shoot. So it's just people using, and then the concert starts, and like Travis Scott appears, but he's not like the size of a character. He's like the size of two Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus. Like
Oh,
he's
he's just giant in the sky, or he's just like
yeah, he's giant in the sky. He starts, and then like the colors get really psychedelic. You start like bouncing. Everybody's bouncing around the map. Then like you're in space the next minute. Then you're like swimming through the desert and all this shit. And like
That's awesome.
it's while the music's playing. It was really neat. It was like max 12 minutes. It was like 10 to 12 minutes. I was playing with my friend Zach, and like he's way younger, and he was really into it. He was like, "This is amazing."
That's awesome. Hell yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds interesting.
the
That's cool.
magic.
That's a really good idea. Yeah,
It
that's
is a really good idea, and I think that especially during this quarantine time, to like have an interactive concert, which it did have like a cool communal feel. They add these special emotes just for it, where you're like putting a flaming microphone into the air and all this stuff. So like, good on them for doing something that was actually a fun free event. Season 2 of Chapter 2 continues to be, I think, the strongest the game's been. I mean, I'm no expert. It's the one I played the most. It's what the only season that I've got this high level of in the battle pass. I'm almost to 80 now. So
hey yo, Walt, what's going on, man? All Green Gamer, thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming out and hanging out.
what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. I was just talking about the Travis Scott Fortnite event, which I personally thought was fun.
I liked at the beginning of I was just thinking like the beginning of the podcast where you kind of like bring up Fortnite and be like, ooh, bleh. And now we're kind of like, it's pretty good. It's good. It's fine. It's a good game.
What did
Kinda like when we first started recording the
We
podcast.
first started, we were kind of like, ugh, stinky. Ugh.
Really? No, it's my favorite live service game now. Like
It's good. I have no problem with it now. I mean, I was just before was kind of one of those things where it's like, everybody likes it. But now I'm
I'm still not completely sold on it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm a jump out of my way to go play.
Well,
Yeah,
you're the Warzone master over there. So
that's true. Oh, I don't think I
That
told
is
you,
true.
Kenny, but I downloaded Warzone. I haven't played it yet.
Ooh, let
That's
me know
exciting.
whenever you want to play, man. I'm already at 17 wins.
All right. Hell yeah. I'll probably muck up your score, but I'm down to try.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's okay. You'll carry me.
Yep.
So those are the relevant things that we've been playing. should we take a little non-gaming related break? A little unprecedented interjection of thoughts or poetry?
That's
Sure.
poetry.
Get some
Who's
slam
writing
poetry
poetry?
Who has the
Uh,
haiku written?
banana peel I see in front of me. Once you were full, but now I will make you into poop and also maybe pee. That was my haiku.
Oh, nice. I didn't
Yeah.
see that last twist going. Very good, very good.
That's it.
All right,
Like
that's been our new Poetry with Ant segment.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been bummed because a bunch of my animes have been all getting delayed too because of COVID.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Which ones?
Food Wars, I think, is being delayed. The new Food Wars.
I watched like 6 more of those, Tyler, by the way. I'm on like
Yes. You
yeah,
love
it's
it?
all good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love it. I watched it one night with Elena and my roommate, and like, it's if you're not into anime,
Yeah.
It's
it
a
can be a
lot.
little bit much. Yeah.
Isn't that the worst feeling though too when you're trying to show somebody something you're like into and then you're like somebody or like a group of people and then you're just like, oh yeah, it's great, and then it turns out they're not super as into it as you are and it just gets really cringy and you kind of get embarrassed and then the people watching you are like getting secondhand embarrassed, be like, oh shit.
That's
They
what
were actually
Wait a second. So didn't that just happen to Anthony at Tyler's house?
Oh, yeah, it
Right?
did.
It sounds like
Yeah,
a real
totally.
life
Yeah, it
story.
did. That's what I showed you. But I also brought it on myself because I'm like, okay, I like cringe videos. I like stupid shit. I should know that a lot of other people don't like the same thing that I do.
This is like Anthony pulling up Eric Andre clips like at like a random
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, be like, hey guys, check this out. It's funny.
but no, it was the episode that where they have a rice bowl cook-off against
The meat girl.
Meat meat,
Yeah,
meat,
she's got the
yes.
huge tits.
Yeah. which they
I gotta watch this now.
make ample time of showcasing.
Yep.
I can't believe you haven't watched it, and it's so you would love it. And
I've been so bad with watching anime. I started watching that Shadowverse anime Tyler made a mistake of telling me about last week.
So bad.
It's really bad. It's just the new Yu-Gi-Oh, but with a smartphone instead of a Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah.
no, but the food aspects of Food Wars I love. I think
Yeah,
they
right?
do it's really cool. Like, and it gives you actually legit things that you could learn in the kitchen. So that's been my favorite aspect of the show, definitely. And I like Soma's a cool character. He's likable.
Yeah.
That's
So
right
not
here.
a nobody.
Yeah.
Coming up to be somebody.
Mhm,
Bandana, protagonist, Kun.
mhm, mhm.
Nice.
That's him. So back to games. That was a nice intermission. I picked up because I don't know why I mentioned it in the group chat. I was like, I want to play some Far Cry. So the only one I haven't played that's not 10 years old is Far Cry New Dawn. It was on sale for $16. I liked Far Cry 5 well enough. It's just like a big sandboxy murder simulator. Sounded like my cup of tea for some reason. So I'm like 4 or 5 hours in now, and I'm happy to report itch has been scratched.
Mhm.
Having a good time. It's like they took a lot of elements from other games. Like the game has a lot of RPG elements. The game is sort of a collectathon. You're looking for resources to level up your capacity to craft weapons, to craft explosives, to expand your home base of operations, to get better vehicles, to improve your perks, which significantly, increase your ability to take over a settlement or whatever. Um, the writing is silly in a sometimes cringy way. Like some of the humor is really bad. It's like I don't know. It's like Canadians. The game's made by Canadians, and it's like a parody of American culture, and it shows sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes it feels just they don't stick the landing as far as the humor goes.
Do you hear
But,
that, Cody? You don't stick the landing sometimes, huh? Get better maple syrup, Canadian guy.
Yeah, didn't even know he was Canadian.
I don't know if he is, but I think he is. He likes the good old Great North.
But I think it's fun. My favorite part of Far Cry 5 was like finding these little hidden areas that have a bunch of loot in them, and there's a little mini puzzle, and I think they're usually pretty well done. And the game did a nice thing that a lot of Ubisoft games it rectified it, so the game doesn't have particularly bad map barf. Like you don't open the map and then suddenly get 100,000 icons and be like, okay, what the heck am I even supposed to do here? It slowly gives them to you like a little drip feed of more icons, more things to do. You actually do feel like you're organically stumbling on things in the really big open world. The shooting pretty good. Um, Overall, like mixed first impressions, but mostly positive. Like I wasn't expecting anything. I got it on sale for 15 bucks. And I'm gonna keep playing it for sure. It's a nice sort of don't have to think too much, but can still get a challenge. And you know, when shit starts to hit the fan in these encounters, like and the fire effects are incredible in the Far Cry games, like it's really easy to throw Molotov cocktails and just like 30 seconds later the entire settlement is on fire because it's got really realistic fire spread. And the series has been famous for that ever since Far Cry 3 and the mission where you burn all the weed plants and Skrillex is playing.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've had that on my computer. I've had that on my Steam. I think Far Cry 3. I bought it for $5 in Steam sale, maybe close to 10 years ago now, or like
Yeah.
whenever it came out, like 2012, maybe.
I think it was 2012, 2011 or 2012. Yeah.
It's been I've had that forever, and I haven't touched it, but I've really been meaning to go back and play it because it looks fun.
It's fun. Three
And you
still
can level
holds
up.
up, I bet. Yeah, you can level up. The numbers get bigger.
Looking at one of the other stories that we have to talk about Sony congratulating Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch on their achievements for Last of Us 2 coming out on June 19th, on July 17th. And one of the things that I thought of in our outline or not was like, have you guys heard about like how like the entire game of the Last of Us was basically leaked, just like premises of it?
Really?
Yeah, I did.
wow.
Yeah, a lot of it was leaked. A lot of story stuff. A lot of videos of big moments in the game. I've luckily been able to avoid them. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how like how much of the game was leaked.
Yeah,
And people were very mad too.
I'm sure a lot of people
About
who
that.
worked on the game have a right to be mad. I mean, I don't know what the situation was leading up to it. If he felt like he was, if it was a disgruntled employee that was tired of working 100 hours a week,
Mhm.
something like that. I don't know.
I think some
But-
people were saying it was probably a former.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the sky I've been hearing so much about? Yeah, I know. Kenny's at the fabled sky. Where are you? How'd you get that?
You know,
Is that a virtual
you know,
background?
Yeah, what the hell, man?
it's
thought you said
actually not.
You were gonna share the green screen. Come on.
It's not. I actually finished cooking because frying salami and plantains is pretty quick, and I took myself outside for the rest of the show.
I like
Tit.
it. You
It's
look
good.
so thoughtful when you're outside.
You look happy.
I try.
I want to look like that one day. I'll get there.
One day.
One day. Monday.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Somewhere in Kenny's house, I can look fucking happy. Maybe he'll make me some plantains or some yummy stuff, and then we can go get Wendy's too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
that sounds nice.
I
Real
know.
nice.
I was thinking back. I don't know. I was thinking this a few weeks ago about how I spent Easter at Kenny's house last year, and this year on Easter I was cooped up. I'm like, man, wish I was at Kenny's house for Easter.
Yeah.
Was that the
Yeah,
day?
I
when-
grew up.
Was it Memorial Day that I came to your house, Kenny?
It was in August. I don't know. It was just
Oh,
around my
okay.
birthday, like
Okay,
a birthday cookout almost.
gotcha. Yeah, that was fun.
When we used to hang, when the world
Used to
wasn't
hang.
fucking exploding.
It's
When
crazy,
there was
man.
no martial law.
No Marshall law. No Marshall Mathers LP.
You guys see Marshall or Eminem donating mom's spaghetti to a bunch of Detroit healthcare workers?
No, that's awesome.
saw that.
Good for him.
It's somewhat awesome, although what
Is that an
it's-
actual brand? I didn't know it was a brand.
I don't know if it's a brand. I didn't actually read into the whole story, but
Yeah.
I just feel like, come on, can you get him like, I don't know, maybe a steak grinder or something, not some spaghetti?
Yeah.
But
They're just making the meme too real.
yeah,
That's
Um,
friggin' wild.
Anybody else want to talk about games they've been playing before we talk about more new stuff?
I hooked up my PS2 last night, so I got to delve into some older stuff. The disc tray was nice and sticky stuck, so I had to take some isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip and jam it into the. I have the old, or not the thin, so like the second model PS2 is like a lot.
Gotcha.
You know,
That's probably the best one.
I agree. I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of it. A lot lighter. I remember I had to get a new one way back when like the Xbox and PS3 were new, but I was still playing PS2 and I was playing Okami. And then one day when I was playing it, it just stopped reading the disc and it wouldn't read any of the discs. And that was the one I bought like back in, I think I got it for Christmas in like 2002.
Mm.
And I was so sad to see it go. My big hunk of black. But now I got Kenny for that instead. But, now my little hunk of black is my newer PS2. But I played some old Monster Rancher. I was playing that with my roommate last night. And it was a lot
Oh
of fun.
boy, Monster Rancher.
Yeah, the game you can go when you get the new monsters, but you get them by like putting in different CDs or whatever. So I was like popping in Parappa and stuff into the game to see what monsters you got.
Oh, whoa, dude, that's what's up. I used to have that game.
Yeah,
That was
it,
the
it
third game I ever owned.
it's rad. Dude, the one I get this one from when I lucked out. I worked at GameStop, but they used to like people would bring in like all their old games to trade in, as one does to go into GameStop. But it would be like these moms that I'd luck out on, and I always make sure that like see somebody come in with a giant like paper bag or like a big plastic bag full of what I could see is like the jewel cases, and I was like, I'm gonna take them. So they'd come up and they'd be like, "Oh, can I trade these in?" And we weren't taking PS1 games or anything anymore. So I'd be like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "No, we're not taking them. But if you want to get rid of them, I can take care of them for you." And most of them would be like, "Yeah, just take it." And I'd be like, I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll throw it out for you."
Dumbasses.
So that was a part of a huge bag. I got Parappa. That's where I got my Metal Gear Solid 1, Gran Turismo, 2 copies of original Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid VR missions, the X-Files game, Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god, you got all this from one person?
Yeah, the first 3 Tomb Raiders. But then I found out like that's like a big no-no. You're not supposed to do that. After like 3 or 4 times of doing that, they're like, you can't do that anymore. I was like, why? They're like, you can't. I was like, how am I supposed to get a good old game?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
right.
screw you, GameStop. Like,
I would just been like, "Here's my number. Call me later. We'll make a
You
deal."
couldn't even do that because I tried that after, and they're like, "You can't do that." And I was like, "You want to meet outside?" And that's why I bought my copy of Fire Red from some kid on the Pokemon Advance.
wow, that's fun. Speaking of playing old stuff, I did fire up a game I hadn't played since August, Dragon Quest XI. I mentioned it
Yeah.
decades ago on earlier episodes of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Some of the
Luckily,
good
it
stuff.
has that great feature that it sums up what you've been doing or like what your current quest is every time you boot up the game. So I wasn't totally lost. And I did that whole mermaid subplot, or not subplot, it's the main plot. And then what's after the mermaid?
Oh, that's where I'm right at now on the Switch version of it. It's
Oh,
the mermaid, and
nice.
then you go to. Fuck, where do you go after that? I think you
Can't
have to
remember.
sail all the way around, right? You had to fight the Tentacular. Or
I
no,
fought
you.
the Tentacular, and then after that, there's a couple other. It was like a. Oh, geez.
Oh,
I
you
can't
visit.
remember.
Yeah, you visit the lady
like a-
downstairs.
The purple place. It was a purple spacey place, and it was very long and grindy.
Oh,
I-
the painting thing. You have to
The
go
painting,
inside the painting. Yeah, the
thank you.
painted
Oh yeah,
world.
the whole paint. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Except till you get to the end and you're like, why can't this labyrinth, like the MCS you're painting, stop? I just want to get to the boss.
Totally.
I should jump back
so-
into that and finish the post game.
You have to. I don't think you gotta beat the post game.
I need to grind so much though. I feel like
I'm on the last final. I'm on the real final boss, and I'm level 99 in my PS4 version, and I still can't beat it. It was so hard. The dude's
What?
rough. Yeah,
Oh,
for the
wow.
the real final boss. And when I cheesed it hard, I spent like maybe 6-7 hours of just grinding for money and experience. For money, you go to that one place there's a place near the end you can go to and steal from these guys, and you always steal the most expensive shield in the game from them because they always carry it. They're like the hula hoop. Remember the hula hoop demons?
yeah.
Those guys. Yeah, you steal the shield
Yep.
from them and you can sell it, and that's like the highest item you can get to steal to resell. And then I went and bought a bunch of the pet potions with that, and I used the what was it, the limit break that Jade gets or whatever, that she can summon different slimes, and you get a chance of summoning metal slimes.
Jesus,
You kill those slimes, you get a buttload of experience, and you kind of just wash, rinse, and repeat.
that's crazy. I'm like Well, I'm not doing this post game stuff. Once I see the credits roll, that's it for me. I'm
But do
good.
you want closure? You need the closure.
I guess I'll see how it ends. Then I'll get the closure on YouTube.
Well,
'cause-
why, when all this nonsense, all this COVID stuff's done, we'll get a couple bottles of hard alcohol. We'll get a couple beers. We'll sit down. We'll go through it as long as our attention span lets us, and I'll help you get through the post game.
Okay. Okay.
So, I've got a question
Not
for
too
you
bad.
guys.
Mhm.
So, seeing how high and how scarce Nintendo Switches are nowadays, what's the dollar amount that you would sell a Nintendo Switch at? Like your personal Nintendo Switch.
Ooh,
Hmm. That's a good question.
$1,000.
that's a trick question. I
Say
wouldn't sell it.
$5,000.
1,000. Not 5,000. That's
Mm.
ripping somebody off. But if it's not four figures, then don't even come to me about it.
Yeah.
So, am I selling it to a friend or to a stranger?
I guess a stranger.
Ooh, that price is going up.
Honestly, it's around what Kenny's saying, just because like I don't know how many months it would be before I could replace it, you know?
Hmm
Mhm.
And my Animal Crossing island is gone.
Everything's gone. All my save data is gone because that's all stored on the system.
Yeah, I don't know. I think probably
I mean, you could take all your save data and throw it on an SD card before you sell your stuff.
even an
Could.
Animal Crossing island. I don't know if you can do that.
I would assume you could.
Not the islands.
Yeah, not the island. The island stays. It's so stupid. It's so
The
funny how
Island
they
stays,
did
the
that.
Switch stays. Yeah, I don't think I would,
Um,
man. I don't, because it's just then I gotta go out and buy a new Switch when they come back in stock, and I can't play my Switch games I have now, even
Yeah,
though I've got a bunch of other games I
I don't
could be
know.
playing.
I'll say $1,100. One up Kenny by $100.
I think I might go 800.
800. Yeah. Well, we were some privileged SOBs, huh?
I just wouldn't sell it.
Oh yeah,
I can't part.
Anthony's no price on it. Just
No
like,
price.
it's priceless to me.
It's just priceless. It's seen too many things. I brought that thing to the bathroom. I brought that thing to work. I brought that thing to the work bathroom.
Yeah.
That thing's seen every day.
He's popped a couple knuckle babies with it on the left hand.
That's it. I think it's been like, depending on where I have it on my computer, yeah, it's probably been like, yeah, it's been like to the left of me usually on my desk. I'd be like, and get all worked up when you know how it goes.
All right. Well, that was a riveting what we've been playing. Now it's time to move on to Tuesday Bar News.
I thought we were already talking about news.
Oh well, you
All
we hadn't officially got it going, but I guess
okay.
we did.
right,
Well,
editor, wind it back.
Yeah, we're gonna edit this in post.
Watch, I can say something backwards, totally fine now. Ready? Mom. Or how about this? Wow.
Or dad.
Dad.
Good one, guys. I
That's
like it.
that's about it. But
Our first story, and
Two.
Tyler already spoiled this one. This comes from the the PS blog.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, we did already talk about it. So Last of Us Part 2 coming June 19th. 1 month later, not even, we get Ghost of Tsushima. Summer of Sony exclusives, putting a cap on this generation. Everybody get hyped.
oh yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty, that really is going to be, Last of Us Part 2 will probably be a 20 to 35 hour game. Like, we'll be done with it around the time July 17th rolls around. Then we'll have another, even potentially bigger AAA Sony exclusive. So it's a lot of people thought this was in response to all the leaks that came out of The Last of Us Part 2. A lot of people were saying like, "Oh, just put it out now. Just put it out now." And this is what they ended up going with. I am very happy that it's not being pushed till God knows when, 2021. Like the way that it sounded like when they first announced the delay, it was like shit, indefinitely. What you mean indefinitely? Like been
Mhm.
waiting for this game for 7 years. And now it's kind of cool that it's coming out in June because the original game came out in June 2013. So
Wow.
7 years, almost to the day. Exciting stuff. And Ghost
That's
of
crazy.
Tsushima, I think that's gonna be amazing. I mean, Sucker Punch had that working for 5 years now. yeah, any thoughts before I move on to the next story?
What's the? I don't think I've really seen anything for Ghost of Tsushima yet. That's the like what
Watch
what
the
kind of?
latest story trailer. It's an open world samurai game made from the creators of the infamous games, and it looks
Ooh.
extremely beautiful in terms of its art style and world design, and like yeah, it
Mhm.
just looks like it's got that extreme AAA, God of War and Final Fantasy VII remake style polish that
Yeah,
is
that.
gonna.
Holy crap! But there's a question from Cody. Who of our group is probably most familiar with the Grand Theft Auto series theories?
I bet me.
Yeah,
What
I'm
would you
pretty much
do,
five.
Wiley? If you were head designer for GTA 6, what would you do? Like, what would you implement in it? What would be a big, like, what would be one of the first big things you'd want to like, put in the game?
I would want maybe a more detailed and dense city than we got in 5, which was very sprawling and open-ended. I would want it to feel a little bit more intimate, like um, I don't know, Vice City did, I think, in my
Hmm.
personal opinion.
Hmm.
I would I love the more cinematic route they went with Red Dead Redemption 2, so I would want to lean more towards that type of experience than the bombastic stuff that you get in GTA Online and stuff like that. Like I think that there is room for that, but I think Rockstar is such a talented studio that they can really, take it uh, and make a movie style game or a movie quality story, which I thought
Hmm.
5 was one of the weakest stories of the modern era in Grand Theft Auto. Like I thought 4 was significantly better. I thought the DLCs of 4 were way better from a story standpoint. I thought 3 and Vice City were all better. So
Hmm. Where would you want to have it? Like, what time period and like what kind of an area?
that's the ultimate question.
Yeah,
That's the ultimate question because there are just so many cool options. Like, I think it would be really cool to have like the 70s, like in
that'd be sick.
Yeah,
to be
I haven't
honest,
seen,
New
we
York
didn't see
City,
70s
New
would
that.
be
York
pretty
City.
cool.
Yeah, like take it back even farther than Vice City, have it be all about cocaine and weed and
Hmm.
disco and everything like that, and kind of have a the Deuce, that show on HBO vibe.
I haven't seen
Um,
that, but does it have like a Grand Theft Auto kind of vibe to it? The show?
it's no, it's just like it takes place it spans like a decade, so each season jumps ahead a few years.
Hmm.
But it's just a really great depiction of what do you call it, Times Square area back in the 70s and 80s, which was like totally overrun with prostitution and organized
Hmm.
crime back in the day.
Yeah. Would you feel like
Um,
it would be worse, or do you think it'd be better if it was in like a futuristic setting, kind of like a 2126, but not like crazy overhyped like future, like pretty much now, but I don't know, like 20, 30
to
years.
me, that doesn't feel like Grand Theft Auto anymore. I think they should just make a new IP. So I think that would be worse
Hmm.
That's what Cyberpunk's gonna be.
yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you
you said, that's
can't really go back.
I mean, what are you gonna be like, like taking people's jetpacks and I don't know. It could be cool. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it couldn't
No, no,
happen.
yeah, but it's already been done, like a lot of it.
And
Maybe
it's
like a
the
time traveling. I think that'd be pretty neat.
such a
I'd
big part.
I'd want it to be like Londonish, you know.
I definitely would like to see a country explored for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good to get out of the U.S. and go somewhere
Like,
else where the
what if
rules
they did
don't
like
apply.
Rio,
Yeah,
Brazil? Like that would be crazy. Like
that would
City
be
of
pretty cool.
God type stuff.
That would be sick. Well, isn't that where
Yeah.
Just Cause is kind of? Is that
Yeah, it is.
area?
Just causes all over the place, right?
Yeah, it's hard because it's like a lot of the stuff's already been done by a bunch of different, not like Grand Theft Auto specifically, but like everywhere, every other franchise with that kind of like, and even like you could make the argument that like Jack and Daxter, Jack 2 and Jack 3 were like futuristic setting Grand Theft Auto.
Sure. But like you're right though. But there's so many that hasn't been explored. Like
Right.
Mafia 3 is a really cool example. I think
Mhm.
1968 New Orleans, really neat. That was one of the cooler parts of the game.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, thanks for the
Yeah.
question. Moving on to the next story, also Sony related. Uncharted movie moved up.
Ooh.
Okay, surprise. It's a movie
Ooh.
that's been in development since 2008. So they have moved up the release date of the much anticipated and much delayed Uncharted movie. The release date is now July 16th, 2021. As long as we're all going back to movies by then, we can all rejoice and enjoy Tom Holland playing a young Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg playing his mentor, Sully.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Oh man.
We also got Antonio Banderas in it, no doubt playing the villain.
I hope he is.
He's
Yeah,
just
I
the
Is it gonna be like a? Is it supposed to be right after the first one, kind of like a retelling of the first Uncharted, or is it totally new?
I think it's actually even before that. I think it's like an origin story of his first big
Heist.
adventure,
Yeah.
something like that.
That's cool. I hope Crash Bandicoot's in it.
Yeah, so the movie is going to be directed as of now. The movie's had 8 directors, I think, by Ruben Fleischer, who previously directed Zombieland and Venom. And it's written by Art Markham and Matt Holloway, who wrote the original Iron Man movie.
Oh.
That's pretty neat. Iron Man's a good movie. Started off a big universe, so maybe we'll get the Sony extended universe 10 years from now and something like that.
I'm still hoping for the Pokemon universe to expand, movie universe.
I could see that
I'd like that a lot.
once
Yeah,
COVID's over.
I mean,
Oh
we're-
yeah,
we're already in the Super Smash Brothers universe.
Which one?
I mean, we have the Super Smash Brothers movie universe. We got Pikachu, Pokemon. We got Sonic.
Oh, it's
we
true.
got,
Yeah. Now we need Metal Gear. We need Snake. We need Zelda. We need new Mario's coming out. Where the guys and everybody's excited for that.
Oh yeah, the Mario Despicable Me movie, right?
Despicable Mario.
Despicable Mario, why not?
Him and Gru
That's-
take down Bowser.
They're making another one of those Despicable movies. Like
They
it's, They are. I saw a preview. Like it's, kids love that shit.
They do. Have you noticed how many of the women or like the girls in those movies they give like the biggest dump truck asses? They just
Oh,
like
yeah,
make
for
every
sure.
woman and it's like
Yeah, I saw a meme about that this morning.
Yeah,
That's pretty-
oh, yeah.
You saw-
it's
yeah.
good.
So yeah, I love Uncharted, the series. I hope the movie's good. I don't really think it needs it since the movies are the games are movies anyway in a lot of ways. Yeah, you can also pick that up for free right now as part of Sony's Play at Home initiative, along with
Ooh.
Journey, which
Still gotta
you
play.
all
Maybe I'll play that
must
now.
play.
Yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll play it. That'll be one of the first games I play after my hiatus.
Cool.
Did you? Is it
Alright.
free now to play? Is it like a free
It's
download?
free. It's free. You don't even need PS Plus.
Shit. I wonder what. Speaking of that, I wonder what the PS Plus games are for this month. I don't think I've even checked.
It was
Oh yeah, for
Dirt
Dirt.
and
Skirt.
but what about for May? Has that
Ooh.
been announced yet?
I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I usually see it in one of the groups I'm in, but popped up.
Yeah. Maybe they're. Wow, I'm seeing this one. I don't think it's been confirmed. Whoa.
Nathan Drake collection.
Wow. So this is a leak here that's saying that it might be Dark Souls Remastered and Dying Light.
Wow,
Pretty cool.
that's an interesting couple.
That would be very cool, and then we could all start playing Dark Souls Remastered, and that
Yeah.
would be a lot of fun.
I know that first hour and a half, 2 hours of that game like the back of my hand. I played it so much, but after that, I have no clue.
And then you just give up once you run into the skeletons.
Yeah, dude, he sucks. Don't ever go that way. I tried going that way like so many times. Don't
Yeah,
go.
don't
Don't
go
to
that
the
way.
skeletons.
You don't go that way.
Unless you want the
Yeah.
scimitar or whatever weapon that is that's down there. You just run it and get out of there.
Yeah, it's crazy how that game just gives you everything and hopes you pick the right way to go.
Yeah, it's like, hey, have fun. Go. You can go to the gargoyles, or you can go to the spooky cave with all the bones.
Mhm. Great game. Great game.
I'm gonna beat it.
Next story. This was a big thing happening earlier this week. Did you guys see this? 160,000 Nintendo accounts hacked.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, so this comes via The Verge. That's where I copied it and pasted it. They're just disabling the ability to log into a Nintendo account through a Nintendo Network ID after 160,000 accounts have been affected by hacking attempts. Nintendo says login IDs and passwords obtained illegally by some means other than our service have been used since the beginning of April to gain access to the accounts. Some of the information that was exposed were nicknames, date of birth, country, and email addresses. And then some people have been experiencing fraudulent purchases. So people have been doing this to go wild with their V-Bucks and just all types of hooligan nonsense, stealing people's money to buy stuff on the Nintendo store. So be careful. Enable two-step authentication. Kenny, take a fucking nap.
Man,
It's okay. I feel you, dog.
But
man.
he's sitting outside getting sleep.
There's too much vitamin D outside. The sun's making you sleepy.
No, I understand. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold back the yawn. They're contagious, and he's
They are.
making me just.
My bad. I was just like, whoa. Oh, fucking Nintendo. But Cody also asked, what Zelda game has the most potential for a movie adaptation? And I'd say Majora's Mask, because that's like they already did what Groundhog Day, same thing. The 3-day cycle. I think that'd be, in my opinion.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think Wind Waker.
Yeah, that would be one I'd love to see. I'd love to see that done by like the Illumination guys.
Yeah, that could be cool. What if there's just like a really gritty live action version of it with like a magical dragon boat that talks?
Hell, you're my new dad now. Okay, son. Let's go sailing.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I lost his mic.
That mic on that one's been a bugger.
Sorry, my
That's okay.
microphone is a little pain in the butt.
Does it just does it keep falling out, or you like hit it and it?
It just at that time it just falls out. It's not, it doesn't snap in the way you want it to. It just kind of like pushes in.
It's a pain.
So I know that there's been other stuff going on in the industry, and we didn't dive deep into many stories this week, but that's okay. We're not your first stop for all the news. We know you might know this already and just want to get our takes on it. So those are the stories that we put in this week's outline. Anthony, you did add the upcoming games that are coming out this week. Any one of those you want to highlight? Or
Honestly, the only one that I saw, I just thought the list was neat that they had the one's coming out today, they have one's coming out tomorrow. I think one for each day of the week, but the only one that caught my eye was Gears Tactics, and I know Kenny was talking about he was excited for that, playing it, and you played it a little bit. And is it more of when you were playing Gears for that little bit, did it feel more like Fire Emblem or more like an XCOM kind of strategy?
In a way, a little bit of both.
Mhm.
A little bit of both.
Even if you've never played, I'm familiar with the Gears IP, but I've never played a XCOM game. Do you think I could still,
Oh, you would enjoy it, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, because you would enjoy it because it would just give you a sense of it almost gives you like a feel of some Fire Emblem to it. These characters they have skill trees. As they level up, you can invest skill points into their skill tree to increase certain gain passive abilities or increase certain abilities you already have. Like one might have a grenade that's a stim grenade, and you might increase the how much it heals whenever you throw it with one of your skill points and things like that. So it has this nice little mix, and it's almost like a carbon copy of a XCOM game, but with some Gears flair to it. But you never played an XCOM game, but you'd enjoy it. Those are those strategy RPGs that kind of tickle that itch sometimes.
I like that. That sounds pretty good. I'll definitely check it out for the PC to see. Do you have to download a client for the Xbox Game Pass for PC, or is it just straight through the app?
Straight from the app.
Nice.
Yep.
cool.
I'll get on that.
It is nuts how many games just come out every week, huh? Or every day even.
Seriously.
I wonder what
Now,
day
how does
1998 is.
I don't know.
do you know how like Gears Tactics or Gears? Well, yeah. Do you know if Gears Tactics like how the multiplayer is? Is it like 1-on-1, or is it like co-op? Like you play like 2v2, or? Because I'm not really familiar with like XCOM games that much. Like I know like what they are.
And
but...
you know what's funny is that I've never done multiplayer on an XCOM game, and I really didn't look into the multiplayer in this one either. I would assume if it's multiplayer as in me against you, then it would be you controlling one side and me controlling the other. But if it's
Right.
us playing through missions together, then I would assume you know what? I have. Let me scratch that. I did one time play an XCOM game before, and you can set it up where if it's your main game and they're jumping into play, then if you would control just one of the squad characters, and I would have control of everybody else.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I could foresee it kind of I'm gonna check out. I should check out the multiplayer later. Hopefully Anthony downloads it. Maybe we could try it together. Um, and see how it rolls. I could see it going like that also, where Anthony would only control one squad member and I would control the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have
Sounds
to check-
neato. All right, y'all. We're
Oh.
nearing that sweet hour and a half sweet spot that we usually wrap things up around. Anybody got any final thoughts and words on this special 1-year anniversary episode of the Level With You show?
Thank you, everybody who's been watching us for
Yes.
the past year. We're gonna keep
Yes.
on doing this, maybe
Mhm.
for like 10 more years.
A billion. 1
His face
million.
when you said 10 years, he's like, huh? No, we'll see.
I'm
Definitely.
gonna keep my 1 year goodbye and celebration quick and easy because I'm at 5% on my phone. So I might just time out at any point in time, guys.
No.
We need to send Kenny your energy. We need to send him the energy spirit bomb. Make sure his phone doesn't die.
All right.
All right, Kenny,
I just
I'm
want to
installing
say,
Gears Tactics.
how exciting. I didn't mean to sound so harsh when I said that you need to take a nap.
Yeah, Kenny. God, how freaking dare you?
And I thank everybody for coming along on this so ride.
It's so wild up and down video game ball shaving filled adventure. Thank
Yes,
you.
exactly. All right. Well, I'll see everybody next week. Stay safe and practice that social distancing. And see you next week.
Dang,
You as well.
30 gigs.
Have
Yeah, it's 30
30
gigs.
gigs. This is a 30 gig goodbye.
Yeah, 30 gig goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right. Peace out.